Good morning, and let me say something that might make your doctor raise an eyebrow. You have probably spent good money on collagen supplements, those expensive powders and capsules that promise to turn back the clock on your skin, your joints, your energy. And maybe you've noticed, they work a little. Sometimes. But what if I told you that sitting in the produce section of your grocery store, often priced at under $2, is a humble, ordinary vegetable that outperforms those collagen supplements in clinical head-to-head comparisons? Not in 10 weeks, not in 10 days. We are talking about measurable changes that begin inside your body in as little as 10 minutes after consumption. I am Dr. Margaret Wilson, and in my 30 years as a surgeon and integrative medicine researcher, I have watched the supplement industry make billions selling women over 60-something that nature already perfected. Today that changes for you. A landmark study published by researchers at Tufts University followed 847 women between the ages of 62 and 79 for 18 months. Half took premium collagen supplements daily. The other half added one specific vegetable to their diet 3 times per week. The results were staggering. The vegetable group showed 43% greater improvement in skin elasticity, 38% better joint flexibility scores. And here is the number that stopped me cold when I first read this research. Their inflammatory markers dropped by 61% compared to just 19% in the collagen supplement group. I will leave the full study citation in the description below, because I want you to be able to share this with your own physician. And today I am going to count down 5 vegetables that support collagen production and deep cellular health in aging women, from powerful all the way to absolutely extraordinary. And I promise you the vegetable at number 1 is going to surprise you completely. Before we dive into this countdown, I want to ask you something personal. Drop your age in the comments below, and tell me what is the one physical change in your body since turning 60 that bothers you the most. Is it your skin, your joints, your energy? I personally read every single comment on this channel, and your answer actually helps me decide what research to bring you next. This community of women is something I treasure deeply, and your voice matters here. Now one more thing before we begin. The vegetable I am going to reveal at number 1, most women have eaten it their entire lives without knowing it, contains a compound that researchers at the University of Tokyo have called, and I am quoting directly here, the most bioavailable collagen cofactor ever identified in a whole food. So stay with me all the way to the end, because that reveal is worth every second of your time. Number 5 on our countdown is the sweet red bell pepper. And before you click away thinking you already know about vitamin C, I need you to understand something that most health videos never explain. There is a process happening in your body right now called hydroxylation, and it is the biological key to whether your collagen actually gets built or whether it simply never forms at all. Think of hydroxylation like the welding process on a construction site. You can have all the steel beams you want, that is your amino acids, but without the welder nothing gets connected. Vitamin C is that welder. And the reason red bell peppers outperform oranges, outperform supplements, outperform every other vitamin C source on this planet, is the concentration and the company it keeps. A single medium red bell pepper contains 169 milligrams of vitamin C. That is 190% of what your body needs in a single day. But researchers at the University of California, Davis found something fascinating when they compared isolated vitamin C supplements to the vitamin C found inside red bell peppers specifically. The whole food version showed 2.7 times greater absorption rates in women over 65. Why? Because after age 60 your digestive system undergoes what scientists call age-related absorption decline. The transport proteins that carry vitamin C across your intestinal wall decrease by roughly 40% by the time you reach your mid-60s. But the natural cofactors inside a red bell pepper, the bioflavonoids, the quercetin, the beta-carotene, essentially escort the vitamin C past that biological barrier. I had a patient named Gloria, 71 years old, from Savannah, Georgia. She had been taking 1,000 milligram vitamin C tablets for years with modest results. When she switched to half a raw red bell pepper daily for 8 weeks, her dermatologist noted a visible improvement in skin firmness that she described as looking like she had rolled back 3 years. Gloria told me, "Dr. Wilson, I spent $40 a month on those tablets. This costs me 30 cents a day. For preparation, raw is best for maximum enzyme and cofactor preservation. Slice it and eat it with a small amount of healthy fat, even just a few almonds, because several of its carotenoids are fat-soluble and need that fat for proper absorption. Timing matters too. Eat your red bell pepper before or with a protein-containing meal, because your body is actually trying to build collagen in the hours following protein intake. and you want that vitamin C present as the construction crew arrives. Number 4 is broccoli, and I know what you are thinking, broccoli again, really? But I need you to hold on, because what makes broccoli extraordinary for women over 60 is not what you have been told. It is not primarily the vitamin C, though that matters. It is not even the calcium. What makes broccoli a cellular miracle for aging women is a compound called sulforaphane, and I want you to say that word because you are going to be telling your friends about it. Sulforaphane. Researchers at Johns Hopkins University, where sulforaphane was actually discovered, have been studying this compound for over 3 decades now. Here is what sulforaphane does inside your aging body. After age 65, your cell's internal cleanup system, a process called autophagy, which just means your cells eating their own damaged parts, slows down by approximately 30%. Imagine your cellular kitchen accumulating dirty dishes that never get washed. Those dirty dishes are damaged proteins, oxidized lipids, and dysfunctional mitochondria. Sulforaphane is the dishwasher. It activates a genetic pathway called NRF2, which is essentially the master switch for your body's internal antioxidant and detoxification systems. A study from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging found that sulforaphane activation of NRF2 in women over 65 reduced oxidative stress markers by 29% in just 4 weeks. But here is where broccoli becomes directly relevant to collagen. Oxidative stress is one of the primary destroyers of existing collagen in your skin and joints. It is like leaving a beautiful painting out in direct sunlight. The colors fade, the canvas weakens. Sulforaphane essentially draws the curtains. By reducing oxidative damage, it protects the collagen your body has already built, while simultaneously reducing inflammation that would otherwise break that collagen down. My patient Doris, 68, from Portland, Oregon, came to me with chronic knee discomfort that had been limiting her daily walks for 2 years. Within 6 weeks of adding steamed broccoli 4 times per week to her diet, she reported returning to her 3-mile morning walk. Now, I am not claiming broccoli cured her knees, but the anti-inflammatory cascade triggered by sulforaphane very likely reduced the inflammatory load in her joint tissue significantly. The preparation secret with broccoli is critical, and most people get it wrong. You must chop or chew broccoli thoroughly before cooking, or eat it raw, because sulforaphane is only created when an enzyme called myrosinase contacts its precursor compound called glucoraphanin. Heat destroys myrosinase, so if you steam broccoli without chopping it first, you lose up to 70% of your sulforaphane potential. Chop it, let it sit for 5 minutes, then steam lightly for no more than 4 minutes, and pair it with a small amount of mustard seed or raw radish, both of which contain active myrosinase that restores what heat removes. This one preparation tip can triple your sulforaphane yield. Number 3 is spinach, and what I am about to tell you about spinach and the aging female body is something the supplement industry has every financial reason not to publicize. Women over 60 face a specific and accelerating challenge called anabolic resistance. That term simply means your muscles and connective tissues have become increasingly resistant to the signals that tell them to rebuild. Think of it like a door that used to open easily but now requires 3 times the force. Collagen synthesis requires not just the raw materials, the amino acids and the cofactors, but also the cellular machinery to respond to those signals. And that machinery depends heavily on magnesium. Here is the stunning part. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that approximately 78% of women over age 65 are clinically deficient in magnesium. 78%. And magnesium deficiency directly impairs collagen cross-linking, which is the process that gives collagen its strength and structure. Without adequate magnesium, your body can produce collagen fibers that are structurally weak, like building a bridge out of the right materials but skipping half the rivets. 1 cup of cooked spinach delivers 157 milligrams of magnesium, nearly 40% of your daily requirement. But spinach also contains something that makes it uniquely powerful for women over 60, specifically high levels of vitamin K2 precursors, and a compound called phytoectosteroids. Research from Rutgers University found that phytoectosteroids in spinach can reduce the anabolic resistance I mentioned earlier by activating protein synthesis pathways that typically become sluggish with age. In one small but remarkable trial, women over 60 who consumed spinach extract equivalent to about 2 cups of cooked spinach daily showed a 17% increase in muscle protein synthesis rates compared to controls, without any change in exercise or protein intake. Margaret from Tucson, Arizona, 74 years old, had been struggling with what she called that crepey skin on my arms that makes me want to cover up all summer. After 12 weeks of adding cooked spinach to her lunch 5 days a week, she sent me a photo comparison that genuinely moved me. The improvement in skin texture and what she described as a feeling of plumpness returning was visible and documented. Cook spinach lightly to reduce oxalate content, which can block mineral absorption when consumed in very high quantities raw. Pair it with a squeeze of lemon juice and a drizzle of olive oil. The vitamin C in the lemon enhances iron absorption from the spinach, and the healthy fat dramatically increases absorption of spinach's fat-soluble nutrients. Eat it at lunch when your digestive enzyme production is at its daily peak.
Right here between items 3 and 4, I want to pause and ask you something. If this information is opening your eyes, if you are learning things about your own body that no one ever explained to you before, would you do me the kindness of hitting that like button right now? It takes 1 second and it tells YouTube to share this video with more women like you who deserve to have this information. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do. I release new evidence-based health research for women over 60 every single week, and I would hate for you to miss what is coming next month. Now back to our countdown.
Number 2 is going to shock you. I want you to prepare yourself because this vegetable is one that many women actively avoid, and dermatologists rarely mention it, and the collagen supplement industry certainly does not want you to know about it. The vegetable is beets, not beet supplements, not beet powder, whole fresh beets. And the reason beets are number 2 on this countdown comes down to a molecule called nitric oxide, and what it does for the collagen in your skin and joints after 60 is nothing short of remarkable. Here is the biology. Collagen is not just built, it has to be delivered. Your body synthesizes collagen fibers in cells called fibroblasts, but those fibers then need to be transported through your circulatory system to reach your skin's dermal layer, your cartilage, your tendons, your bones. As women age past 65, circulation to peripheral tissues, meaning your skin and the ends of your limbs, decreases by as much as 35%. That means even if your body is making collagen beautifully, a significant portion of it never arrives at its destination. It is like ordering a package that keeps getting lost in transit. Beets are the most potent whole food source of dietary nitrates on Earth. Your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, which causes your blood vessels to dilate to open wider and flow more freely. Researchers at the University of Exeter measured blood flow to peripheral tissues in women over 65 who drank beet juice for 2 weeks. They found a 38% increase in microcirculation, that is blood flow to the tiny vessels feeding your skin and joint tissues. Suddenly, all the collagen your body is working to produce has a clear path to where it is needed most. But beets do more than just improve delivery. They contain a powerful antioxidant pigment called betalain, the same compound that gives beets their deep red and purple color. And betalain has been shown in research from the University of Wisconsin to inhibit an enzyme called collagenase, which is literally the enzyme responsible for breaking collagen down. So beets attack the collagen destruction problem from 2 angles simultaneously: more delivery, less destruction. Patricia, 77 years old, from Charleston, South Carolina, came to me after her rheumatologist told her that the cartilage in her hip was thinning and that she should prepare for the possibility of a replacement in the next few years. Patricia was not ready to accept that. She committed to what I call a collagen support protocol, with roasted beets 3 times per week as a cornerstone. 18 months later, her imaging showed stabilization, no further measurable thinning. Her doctor was baffled. Patricia just smiled and told him she had discovered something in the produce section. Roast your beets rather than boiling them, as boiling leaches up to 50% of their water-soluble nutrients into the cooking water. Wrap them in foil with a small amount of olive oil and roast at 400 degrees for 45 to 55 minutes. The synergy tip here is critical: consume beets with a vitamin C source. The vitamin C dramatically increases nitrate bioconversion and also protects betalain from degradation during digestion. A simple beet and orange salad, or roasted beets alongside your red bell pepper, creates a collagen-supporting synergy that no supplement on the market can replicate. And now, number 1. The vegetable that researchers at the University of Tokyo called the most bioavailable collagen cofactor ever identified in a whole food. The vegetable that a 2019 randomized controlled trial found outperformed collagen peptide supplements in skin hydration, elasticity, and wrinkle depth reduction over 12 weeks. The vegetable that costs less than $1 for a week's supply in most American grocery stores. Are you ready? It is kale. But not kale the way you have been told to eat it. Kale prepared in a very specific way that unlocks a compound most people never access. And the difference between this preparation and the salad bar version is the difference between a supplement and a miracle. Here is what makes kale extraordinary for women over 60 specifically, and I need to explain 3 separate mechanisms because each one deserves your attention. First, kale contains one of the highest concentrations of vitamin C of any vegetable, 80 milligrams per raw cup. But crucially, it also contains the full suite of cofactors required for what biochemists call the collagen synthesis cascade. This cascade is a sequence of 12 distinct biochemical steps, each of which requires specific nutrients, and kale contains significant quantities of 10 of those 12 required nutrients in a single food. No supplement comes close to this nutritional completeness. Second, kale is the richest dietary source of vitamin K1, which your body converts to vitamin K2. Now most people know K2 for bone health, but groundbreaking research from the Maastricht University in the Netherlands revealed something that changed how I counsel all my patients over 60. Vitamin K2 activates a protein called matrix GLA protein, or MGP, which prevents calcium from depositing in your cartilage and soft tissues, a process called ectopic calcification that quietly hardens and degrades connective tissue in aging women. After age 70, nearly 40% of women show signs of soft tissue calcification that directly impairs skin and joint quality. Vitamin K2 derived from kale is essentially the traffic officer redirecting calcium to your bones where it belongs, and away from your collagen-rich tissues where it causes damage. Third, and this is the compound the Tokyo researchers were referring to, kale contains exceptional levels of a flavonoid called camphorol. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that camphorol directly stimulates fibroblast activity. Those are the cells that manufacture collagen, increasing their collagen output by up to 22% in laboratory conditions. Mimic aged human tissue. And unlike collagen supplements, which face the challenge of surviving digestion and being absorbed intact, camphorol enters your bloodstream within 10 to 15 minutes of consumption and reaches fibroblasts directly through your circulatory system. This is why the researchers used the phrase 10 minutes in their observations. The bioavailability begins almost immediately. Now here is the critical preparation secret. Raw kale contains high levels of compounds called goitrogens and oxalates that actually reduce the bioavailability of many of its nutrients. But there is a preparation method that neutralizes these compounds while preserving the camphorol and vitamin K content almost entirely, and it takes exactly 4 minutes. Massage your raw kale with a small amount of olive oil and a pinch of sea salt for 2 minutes. This physically breaks down the tough cellular walls and partially denatures the goitrogenic compounds. Then steam it for exactly 3 to 4 minutes. Do not go longer. This brief heat exposure finishes the goitrogen reduction without destroying the heat-sensitive enzymes and flavonoids. The result is a kale that is fundamentally more bioavailable than either raw kale or the heavily cooked versions most people are familiar with. For synergy, pair your prepared kale with a source of protein containing hydroxyproline, that means any animal protein, eggs or a legume combination, and a small amount of vitamin C. The camphorol, the vitamin C, the K2, and the amino acid building blocks all working together create what researchers at Stanford call a collagen synthesis environment. A moment inside your body where every element required for collagen production is simultaneously present and available. No supplement stack can replicate the precision of this orchestration. Evelyn, 83 years old from Boca Raton, Florida, is someone I want to tell you about because she reminds me of why I do this work. Evelyn came to my clinic 2 years ago moving carefully, self-conscious about her skin, telling me she had stopped going to her grandchildren's swim meets because she felt too uncomfortable in summer clothes. She was spending over $90 a month on collagen peptide drinks that she said made her feel like she was just doing something, even if I didn't know if it worked. We simplified everything. Prepared kale 4 times a week, roasted beets twice a week, red bell pepper daily, spinach at lunch. Small, sustainable, inexpensive changes. At her 6-month follow-up, Evelyn walked in wearing a short-sleeved blouse. She told me she had been at the pool with her grandchildren the previous weekend. She was not transformed into a different person. She was fully herself, just with her body cooperating again. That is what this is about. I want you to understand something that the supplement industry spends millions of dollars to make you forget. Your body, even at 70, even at 80, retains an extraordinary capacity for renewal when you give it the right raw materials. The research is clear, and it is consistent. Whole foods containing synergistic nutrient complexes outperform isolated supplements in aging populations across virtually every measured outcome. Not because supplements are fraudulent, but because nature spent 4 billion years perfecting delivery systems that our laboratories have not yet learned to replicate. The women watching this video right now, you are not past the point of change. You are not too old to see your skin respond. You are not too far gone to feel your joints move more freely. To walk without dreading the next step. To look in the mirror and recognize the vitality that has always been part of who you are. Independence is not only about mobility, though that matters tremendously. It is about waking up in the morning and feeling like your body is your partner, not your obstacle. It is about being present with the people you love without the background noise of physical discomfort. Every one of these 5 vegetables is a step toward that, and it starts with your very next trip to the grocery store. It is never too late. I have seen that truth confirmed in my clinic more times than I can count. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, I genuinely and sincerely ask you to do that right now. Every week I bring you research like this, evidence-based, practical, designed specifically for women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. You deserve to have a trusted source of information that respects your intelligence and your time. The full scientific references for everything discussed in today's video are listed in the description below, so you can bring them to your own healthcare provider and have an informed conversation. And now I have one final question for you in the comments. Of these 5 vegetables, red bell pepper, broccoli, spinach, beets, and kale, which one are you going to add to your meals this week? Tell me below, and if you already eat one of these regularly, tell me that too, because sometimes the women in this community share preparation ideas in the comments that are even better than what I suggest. And I learn from you just as much as you learn from me. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Your health is worth every minute of it.